Maya, I've been digging through these recent studies on AI in higher education, and what I found completely upends everything we thought we knew about teaching. There's this Nature study showing AI tutors actually outperforming traditional active learning methods in college classrooms. Not just matching them, outperforming them.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me a computer is better at teaching than the discussion groups and hands-on activities we've been pushing for decades?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And before you think this is just tech hype, the research is solid. They ran a randomized controlled trial, the gold standard, with college students learning statistics. The AI tutor group didn't just do better on tests, they showed deeper conceptual understanding.
As someone who's experienced both sides of this, I'm not surprised. Last semester, I had an AI tutor for my algorithms class, and it was like having a teaching assistant who never got tired, never got frustrated, and could explain things 15 different ways until it clicked.
But Aisha, doesn't that worry you? The whole point of active learning is human connection, collaborative discovery. How can an AI replicate that?
That's where this gets really interesting. The study found that students using AI tutors actually engaged more deeply with the material. They asked more questions, explored more pathways, made more mistakes without fear of judgment.
I've been watching this unfold at our institution, and the resistance from faculty is intense. We're asking professors who've spent decades perfecting their teaching methods to suddenly embrace technology that might make their expertise seem less essential.
It's not just about ego, though. There's this systematic review I read about AI's impact on critical thinking skills. The findings were complicated. While students showed improvement in some analytical tasks, there were real concerns about whether they were developing the kind of deep, reflective thinking we value in higher education.
You're talking about the systematic literature review on pedagogical implications, right? I found that fascinating because it highlighted this fundamental tension. AI can enhance certain cognitive skills while potentially undermining others.
I see this with my classmates all the time. Some use AI as a crutch, just getting answers without understanding. But others, like me, use it as a sophisticated study partner. The tool isn't the problem, it's how we're teaching students to use it.
That's exactly the challenge we're facing administratively. We need policies, training, infrastructure, all while the technology evolves faster than our committees can meet.
And what about the teachers themselves? I saw this qualitative study from Atlanta about high school teachers and AI's impact on occupational stress. If it's affecting high school teachers this much, imagine what's happening in higher ed, where the stakes feel even higher.
The stress findings were eye-opening. Teachers reported feeling simultaneously excited about AI's potential and terrified about their professional future. One participant described it as standing at the edge of a cliff, not knowing if there's a bridge or a drop.
From a student perspective, we can sense that anxiety. Some of my professors ban AI completely, others embrace it fully, and most are somewhere in the confused middle. It creates this weird learning environment where the rules change from class to class.
We're trying to develop institution-wide guidelines, but it's like building a plane while flying it. Just last week, our academic senate had a 3-hour debate about whether using AI for essay outlines constitutes plagiarism.
This reminds me of when calculators first entered classrooms. The same fears, the same resistance, the same questions about what skills really matter.
Except the pace of change is exponentially faster now. The French integration guide I've been studying, Intégrer l'intelligence artificielle à l'enseignement, they're already implementing AI across their entire education system while we're still debating whether to allow it.
The international perspective is crucial. My roommate is an exchange student from Singapore, and their universities have been using AI tutors for 2 years already. She was shocked at how behind we are.
Behind or cautious? There's value in moving thoughtfully, especially when we're talking about fundamentally changing how young minds learn to think.
The pressure comes from multiple directions, though. Students expect modern tools. Parents want job-ready graduates. Employers demand AI literacy, but faculty want to preserve academic rigor. How do we balance all of that?
What strikes me is that we're treating this as an either-or proposition. The most successful implementations I've researched blend AI capabilities with human expertise. It's not replacement, it's augmentation.
Exactly. My best learning experiences have been when professors use AI to handle the routine stuff, grading multiple choice, providing basic feedback, so they have more time for the meaningful interactions.
But that assumes professors know how to make that distinction. Many don't even understand what AI can and can't do. They're either terrified it'll replace them or dismissive of its capabilities.
The faculty development needs are staggering. We're asking professors to not just learn new tools, but fundamentally rethink their pedagogical approach. And we're doing it with limited budgets and even more limited time.
The research on teacher stress specifically highlighted this issue. Teachers felt unsupported, unprepared, and overwhelmed by the pace of change. One described it as being asked to perform surgery with tools I've never seen before.
Meanwhile, students are using these tools whether faculty approve or not. My study group has an AI that helps us prepare for exams, summarize readings, even generate practice problems. The disconnect between what's happening officially and unofficially is huge.
That underground use worries me most. Without proper guidance, students might be learning habits that undermine their actual education. Critical thinking isn't just about getting answers. It's about the struggle, the process, the wrestling with ideas.
Which brings us back to the fundamental question. What are we actually trying to achieve in higher education? If it's just information transfer, then yes, AI might do it better. But if it's about developing thinkers, citizens, innovators...
The evidence suggests it can support both goals, but only with intentional design. The AI tutoring study showed improved conceptual understanding, not just memorization. Students learned to think about problems differently.
In my experience, the best AI tools don't give you answers. They guide you to discover them yourself. It's like having Socrates in your pocket, constantly asking questions that push your thinking.
But Socrates knew his students as individuals. He understood their backgrounds, their fears, their potential. Can an algorithm really replicate that human insight?
The personalization capabilities are actually quite sophisticated. AI can adapt to learning styles, pace, even emotional states in ways that a professor managing 30 students simply can't.
The systematic review found that personalized AI instruction led to significant improvements in student engagement and retention, especially for traditionally underserved populations.
That's huge for someone like me. First-generation college student, working part-time, I can't always make office hours, but AI is available at 2 in the morning when I'm finally able to study.
I appreciate that accessibility argument, but what about the human connections that define the college experience? The mentor who changes your life? The classroom debate that shifts your worldview?
No one's suggesting we eliminate those experiences. The vision is AI handling routine tasks so humans can focus on what they do best. Inspire, challenge, connect.
The implementation challenges are real, though. The research consistently shows that successful AI integration requires significant infrastructure investment, ongoing training, and cultural shift. Most institutions aren't prepared for that.
The divide between well-resourced universities and community colleges is already growing. My friend at the local community college has professors who barely use email, let alone AI.
That equity issue keeps me up at night. Are we creating a two-tier system where wealthy students get cutting-edge AI support while others get outdated methods?
It's a valid concern. We're trying to address it through consortiums, shared resources, but the disparities are real and growing.
The French model offers interesting solutions. They're treating AI literacy as a fundamental right, providing national infrastructure and training. But their centralized system makes that easier.
What frustrates me is that we're having these philosophical debates while the practical reality races ahead. My computer science peers are building AI tools that will transform education whether educators are ready or not.
That's exactly why we need thoughtful integration rather than reactive policies. The question isn't whether AI will be part of education, but how we shape its role.
The academic senate finally agreed on that point. We're moving from if to how, but the how is exponentially more complex.
The systematic review identified several key factors for successful integration: clear learning objectives, appropriate tool selection, ongoing assessment, and critically, maintaining human oversight.
Human oversight sounds good in theory, but what does it actually mean? My professors can barely keep up with ChatGPT, let alone the specialized tools we're using.
Which circles back to the stress study. Teachers feel like they're drowning in technological demands while trying to maintain educational quality.
We've started peer mentoring programs, pairing tech-comfortable faculty with those struggling. The results are promising but slow.
Slow might be too generous. The pace of AI development means that by the time faculty master one tool, 3 new ones have emerged. It's an impossible race.
Maybe we're approaching it wrong. Instead of trying to master every tool, shouldn't we focus on principles, understanding what AI can do conceptually rather than technically?
That's wise beyond your years, Aisha. It's about developing AI literacy rather than expertise.
Our curriculum committee is exploring exactly that approach, required courses on AI and learning, not specific platforms or tools.
The evidence supports that strategy. Institutions focusing on conceptual understanding rather than technical training show better long-term adaptation to AI changes.
From the student side, we need both. Conceptual understanding helps us evaluate tools, but practical experience helps us apply them effectively.
The balance is delicate. Too much focus on tools makes education vocational training. Too little leaves students unprepared for reality.
We're piloting integrated approaches, AI tools embedded within traditional courses rather than standalone tech training. Early results are encouraging.
That aligns with the most successful cases in my research. AI as a means, not an end. Supporting learning objectives rather than driving them.
My best professor this semester does exactly that. She uses AI for rapid feedback on drafts, freeing class time for deeper discussion. It's transformative.
But how many professors have the time, energy, and support to redesign their courses that way? The individual success stories don't address systemic challenges.
You're right. We need institutional commitment, funding, time, recognition for innovation. Most universities reward research over teaching innovation.
The irony is thick. We research cutting-edge learning methods, but apply century-old approaches in our own classrooms.
The students ready for change are driving it ourselves. My senior project uses AI to create adaptive learning modules. If institutions won't innovate, we will.
That entrepreneurial spirit is admirable, but it also bypasses important safeguards. Educational innovation without pedagogical grounding can do real harm.
Which is why we need collaborative approaches. Students, faculty, administrators, and technologists working together rather than in parallel.
The research consistently emphasizes collaboration as crucial for successful AI integration. No single perspective has all the answers.
In practice, though, those groups rarely talk. Students complain among ourselves, faculty complain in their meetings, administrators make decisions in isolation.
Breaking down those silos might be the biggest challenge of all. It requires humility, admitting that none of us fully understands this transformation.
We've started monthly forums bringing all stakeholders together. The conversations are difficult but necessary.
Looking at the evidence, institutions that create such dialogue spaces show better outcomes across all metrics: satisfaction, learning, innovation, adoption.
The key is making those spaces actually inclusive. Token student representation on committees isn't enough. We need real voice in shaping our education.
And faculty need assurance that their expertise still matters, that AI enhances rather than replaces their role.
The most successful message we've found is positioning faculty as learning architects, designing experiences AI alone could never create.
That framing appears throughout the research. Teachers as curators, facilitators, wisdom guides, rather than information deliverers.
Some professors already excel at that. Others, well, they're still reading PowerPoints verbatim while we secretly use AI to learn the material better.
Those are the ones most threatened by AI, and rightfully so. If your teaching can be replaced by an algorithm, maybe it should be.
Harsh but fair. We're encouraging faculty to identify their unique value, what they bring that no AI can replicate.
The evidence suggests that human elements become more, not less, important as AI handles routine tasks. Creativity, empathy, wisdom, distinctly human contributions.
The best learning experiences in my college career combine both: AI for personalized practice, humans for inspiration and connection.
If we can scale that combination, we might actually improve rather than compromise education quality.
That's the vision we're working toward, not human versus machine, but human with machine, each doing what they do best.
The path forward seems clear in principle, complex in practice. Thoughtful integration, ongoing assessment, commitment to educational values while embracing technological capabilities.
For students like me, caught in this transition, we need honesty about the challenges and support for navigating them.
And for educators, we need resources, training, and time to adapt without sacrificing the core mission of developing minds and citizens.
The transformation is inevitable. Our choice is whether we shape it intentionally or let it happen to us.
The evidence is clear. Institutions that engage proactively with AI show better outcomes for all stakeholders. The question isn't whether to embrace AI in education, but how to do it wisely, equitably, and effectively.